I don't know what it is. I still love that song no matter what. It's like the countdown to like greatest thing in the whole world.
It makes me so nervous, though. I'm like, oh boy, here we
I'm
go.
getting like you get all amped up for it.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Can I preemptively say, by the way, like 2 weeks into the season, Colin Wilson was all, hey, those New York Mets, and I was like, whatever, talk to me in June, dude. And so I don't know. I guess we should talk in June now. It's June 1st, and like
you probably don't want to talk about it right now. Actually,
no. This is why we talk about minor league baseball and minor league baseball only. All right. It didn't take Eric Profit long here. Paul is wearing himself, he says.
Congratulations.
I got the Caputo in the mail the other day.
I mean, if there was ever a hat, you know, the Caputo hat, it is that hat. I feel like I need to get that.
Screamers.
The Screamers.
It's the Screamer. Yeah, named after their like 21 scoop concession item that they have. So
on a batting plastic helmet, like one of the big ones,
on a head-sized helmet. Yeah. Exactly.
You got to take a team. You got to take a team to tackle that one.
Right. Yeah. You need at least 7 people there, because I got that one in Las Vegas that was just like the 2 churros with a couple of scoops of ice cream, and like I still needed my buddies to help with that one. I was just like, I can't.
Churros though, churros. I mean, come on, you got to have it. You know, it's a beautiful thing.
Churros in a little bowl. It says Las Vegas on it. It was great. It's great.
Nice.
Eric is chiming in live from Riverfront Stadium in Kansas.
He's wearing
your Dad Hat Chronicles shirt here. Amazing.
And Dad Hat Chronicles dad hat.
And we got Zachary is chiming in from TQL Stadium in Cincinnati.
Oh, USA Morocco. Okay.
USA.
And he spelled Cincinnati right, which to me is the hardest city in America to spell.
I thought it was Mississippi.
It's up there with Mississippi.
Well, that's not a city.
Yeah.
Well, state, yeah. Cincinnati, yeah, you're right. I'm the foreigner here, okay? Leave me alone.
You're the foreigner. And then there's always Albuquerque, which I had to learn to spell.
Oh, that's a hard one. Green Jackets, but listening. All right.
Okay.
Very cool.
Very cool is right. Man. All right. Ed, Anna.
Yes, sir.
What? I don't think Albuquerque is harder. ALBUQUERQUE.
No, ABQ. That's it.
ABQ.
You just relegate it to the airport code. That's it.
ABQ, done.
What are the most recent minor league games you've been to? Anna, you have quite a story, I understand.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, this last weekend was an absolute blast. I went to 2 games back to back. On Saturday night, I was at the Frisco Rough Riders, and I got to meet our friend James Christopher, for the first time, and his wonderful family with the grandkids in tow. And it was just an absolute blast. Got to film a little segment for Let's Get To. And then the following night, we went out to Cleburne and did it all over again. And man, I tell you, like, it was just
isn't it fun?
Blast of a time. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I was very nervous, but you know, after the first few minutes, he's just he's so warm. It was so easy to kind of get right into it. So it was a great time.
Well, I was particularly jealous of that because your wife Nicole was there, and she is not coming on our big Minnesota adventure. So I don't get to meet Nicole, nor do I get to meet Darla just yet anyway. When Ed's wife Darla, who will also not be in Minnesota.
That's correct. I will be flying solo, literally flying.
Well, so that's pretty cool. You know, I'll get to meet James later this summer when he's in Colorado for a couple of games out here. The Rocky Mountain Vibes down in Colorado Springs, and then we're going up to the Gem City Bison
again.
Where I will be going back to the Gem City Bison, where I just recently saw a game that ended in a score of 30-13, and that was an awful lot of runs.
It was not football.
No,
right.
We were 2 hours in, and it was the middle of the 5th. So,
jeez.
Yeah, that was something. So,
I'm jealous, Zach.
I know, Monarchs. Oh, I gotta go there.
Yeah,
but I went to a Holly Springs Salamanders game.
What'd you think?
That was a cool ballpark. A little disappointed in some things, though, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Helmet Sundays, dad
No
hats.
helmet Sundays.
These are the first two items on the checklist.
Well, here's the thing, though. They have a lot of dad hats, which I'm okay with.
Okay,
right?
Okay.
Me and Donnie, we made a trade because he was at the Blowfish game, right? In the CBL as well.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have dad hats online. Come to find out, they have dad hats at the ballpark. So I was like, hey, listen, you get me one and I'll get you this one, and we'll call it even. So it was a win-win for the both of us, right? But yeah, and no souvenir cups. Right.
This was also true of the Gem City Bison, but they were playing at the University of Wyoming's ballpark, and yeah, I mean it was just sort of it was a pretty sort of low key environment there. But you know they said their owner Austin told me that they were working on Helmet Sundays. So
I don't know about the Salamanders. I'm gonna have to put in some inquiries and see what's going on with that.
I like the Salamanders logo a lot.
So do I. They have some cool dad hats, right? So I have some 47, some Zephyrs, right? So they got some cool stuff.
That's good.
Although you guys already know that they have an alternate identity, the milkshakes, right?
Yeah,
great logo.
I like it.
It's amazing. If you guys have not seen it, you guys got to look it up, right? But here's the problem: they don't have a dad hat for that logo, which is a total miss on their part, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm happy to say that my next game will be the Minnesota Twins playing Anna's Tampa Bay Rays.
Same here.
And then shortly after that, just hours after that, the St. Paul Saints. I have been 10 days from today is our Minneapolis doubleheader. I've been tracking the long range forecast. Now it's on the 10-day forecast. I don't have to look at the 15-day forecast.
Right. We're getting updates also as well, which is great.
I have been texting updates to the team here about what the forecast says. Like the forecast means anything at all 10 days out.
You should do
it's definitely going to be better than Texas.
You should do a green screen of it,
Oh, I should. Actually, I worked for a TV news station when I was in college, and they liked my voice, so they tried to make me a weather person, and then I was too dumb to figure out the green screen, and so they were like, "Well, you can keep answering phones in the newsroom.
We're gonna take you off the screen."
Yeah, I couldn't get the looking at myself in the mirror, and I kept gesturing with the wrong hand, and then they were like, "You're not a meteorologist. Don't try to talk like one." And so I was like, "Well, whatever."
I would have been like, "Guys, it's gonna be hot
someday." Podcasts will be invented, and I'll have a podcast.
There you go.
Speaking of live updates.
Look at that.
Lead off a triple and then a home run for Wichita. Oh, here you go. Here's a poll question for you two. Home run, one word or two?
Two.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Huh.
Yeah.
Only because it's HR as an abbreviation, right?
True. Like stolen base.
I will say it in the Spanish, home run. So I'm gonna go with one.
Awesome.
So there you go.
Tonight's forecast is dark. So, anyway. Also, Eric, you don't have to apologize. This is a big tent a live stream show here.
Oh no! Apologize for your wrongness.
Apologize for disagreeing with us, at least with Anna and me. And and Ed was outvoted, so he now has to agree with us. So
touche.
Yeah. How about this? Do you guys have it's Pride Month? Happy Pride Month! And do you guys have any Pride games on your schedule? I am going to the next weekend. I'm going to the Arizona Diamondbacks Pride Night.
Nice. I do not have anything scheduled as of yet.
Okay.
Neither do I.
Yeah. So I retweeted minor league baseball's. They had a tweet this morning, and it was all of their Pride nights, all the teams that they know of that have Pride nights and the dates that they were on them. And so I retweeted it, and I lost a couple followers, and I wanted to go find those people and flip them off. So
you know what? Better off.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Don't I get better? Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. All right. So we have some questions. I understand.
We do. But here's one that I did not go over with you guys that I want to spring on you guys. I want to get you guys, on see what's going on with this one. So if you had to choose a different Major League Baseball team, not your own, to root for, who would that be?
So I hate that I'm going to say this because it makes me feel like sort of a front runner here, but I love the history and the visual identity of the Dodgers so much that I could absolutely see like it's a color that I like to wear. I like the logo.
But there are no trolley trains where there were the Dodgers. It was in Brooklyn.
Listen,
saying.
All right, there's there's no jazz in Utah either.
But true story.
Maybe there's jazz in Utah. I don't know.
Maybe New Orleans, where they were from.
Right, exactly. Yeah, but no, I love this question, and I think I could see myself being a Dodgers fan, still in the National League. Not that matters anymore. And
true story.
I like the brand. I like the stadium. So I think Dodgers. Also Mariners, because God bless the Mariners. Like, can they please do something?
They try really
They're
hard.
Trying so hard.
I'm gonna go. I like a lot of different teams. Like I like to kind of bounce around if the Rays aren't playing. But I've been having a lot of fun watching Milwaukee lately because we've got a bunch of former Rays on that club, and then also the Tigers. I got that family connection to the Tigers because I know my grandma's watching. So
okay, I almost kicked you off this show, just so you know.
What, Tigers?
They're in the Central, AL Central. I can't root for. No, I'm just kidding. Tigers is not a bad one. For me, the first team that I would root for would be Pittsburgh, the Pirates.
Oh yeah, bless their heart too.
Bless their heart. No, they are trying really hard. And the whole history with Clemente, right? They have their statue there, the 21-foot wall, right? And it's a gorgeous ballpark. My God, is that a gorgeous ballpark, right? So I definitely would root for them. Okay. I will not root for Red Sox. Will not root for Yankees. Will not root for like those big teams. I cannot. Don't even try. Not going to. Don't hate them. Won't root for them.
I got a question for y'all that is also not on the docket, but I'm curious now because, that question kind of brings up something that's talked about a lot, is where people become fans of teams that they don't necessarily have like a geological connection to, or even like a familiar connection to. So, has that gone by the wayside? I mean, like, you're talking about a sport where no longer does anybody from a certain region play for the quote unquote hometown team. So, there's that big, you can't be a Cubs and White Sox fan type thing. But how do y'all feel about that?
I had a similar conversation with Jordan on this week's episode, right? We're talking about, and she's in a position, right? Because she's a play-by-play caller. She's in a position where she roots for the player first, right? And I think that's kind of seeping into baseball now, where it's been very predominant in the NFL and in the NBA, right? Where a lot of fans are rooting for the player first, getting, like someone from Cleveland, in Cleveland, Golden State was like, that's the arch nemesis, right? For such a long time. But you would see a lot of Curry jerseys there. I don't know it, with the connection of we are able to see now every single Major League Baseball, unless you're on a blackout,
Right. It's almost harder to watch your own home team.
It is.
If you're just doing MLB. Jordan was interesting. Your guest, Jordan, because she was talking about, she was from Colorado and she was a Rockies fan growing up. And then she said when they traded Nolan Arenado
she became a Cardinals.
So now she's rooting for the Cardinals. And so that was pretty interesting, right? Like,
I don't hate, I no longer hate a team. I think that we spent way too much time hating teams. I just won't root for them, but I won't hate a team.
I just have to turn the volume off when I watch the Braves because I can't do the chop. I can't. I'm sorry.
I'm with you.
No, but that was interesting from Jordan. The other interesting thing that I thought Jordan said about rooting for a team was if she wants to be a broadcaster, that she has to maintain like a little bit of neutrality. And so, you know, she couldn't really have a favorite team until she became a broadcaster for that team. So, so I think, I don't know, Anna, like it's hard for me because I just don't have, I don't see how you could develop a connection to a team that was as strong or stronger than the one you grew up with, right? Like to me, my connection to the Phillies is so much about my dad and my grandfather and my siblings and like going to school and everyone's a Phillies fan. And like, and I know like my kids don't really have that out here because, well, I mean, they don't give two dangs about team sports anyway. But you know, like I tried to raise them as Phillies fans and like nobody cared about sports at all. Right. Like, so
I'm with you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was, I mean, for me, it's so much a part of like being part of a bigger community. And so I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think it probably means that if you do that, it probably just means you didn't have as strong a connection to your initial team as sometimes you do. So
sometimes you grow out of it though, you know.
Ed, you've met me. Well, you haven't actually met me, but I don't really grow out of a lot of things. Have you seen all the helmets behind me?
I've seen my wall. I will never grow up.
Hey, I like Philip's question here. Which MLB stadium is the best for people watching? A place where the show in the stands equals the show on the field.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's New York.
Oh yeah.
You got the biggest diversity. There's, you know, a ton to watch. Always packed. Either game, either Citi Field or Yankee Stadium. I think it's real interesting.
I've never been to either one, right? But every time I see it on TV, I just, you know, I see so many angry people at Yankee games, and I don't know why.
They live in New York City, Ed.
It might just be how they talk in New York.
They're always so angry.
Well, you know, it's been like a year and a half since they last won a championship, so it's their birthright. Apologies to Johnny Bolin and his New York Yankees here.
Good questions, man. I really like those questions.
Yeah.
Good job. Oh, and by the way, one more team that I would root for. I'm with you, Paul. The Mariners.
The Mariners. In part because I like their old, like the Mariners have some of the best retro logos out there.
Yes.
We were talking about logos the other day. It's like the Angels, your old one with the wing on it, and Joe put that on Twitter. We were talking about it. My God, did I love that logo?
Yeah.
The old
blue
Angels
one
with the wing. Yeah.
When they were like navy.
Yeah. Man, I love that logo.
So the other thing I have to say is that there are people in my life who I care for very much who are trying to recruit me to the Red Sox, and so you know that's
do not don't. It's just no.
That's funny. I know you guys have particular aversions to that. So they sure did come in here in 2007 and sweep the Rockies right out of the World Series.
I remember that.
Yeah. That's the last time they went to the World Series, the Rockies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the Rockies have been to the World Series and they've never won their division.
What?
Wow.
They made the World Series as a
it's a wild card?
As a wild card team.
Huh.
They've literally never won the National League West.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you got the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I mean,
but they've been around since 1993, 94? 3.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Live updates from Wichita for anyone who's following the
walk, single, double. Wichita has hit for the team cycle in the first. Hot dog.
This is against Leiter. Leiter's pitching tonight.
Oh, is that true?
I thought that's what Eric said.
I think so.
That's surprising.
All right. So what are our docket questions tonight?
Well, I'll start with the one that we were talking about. Okay, so we this week we were talking about creating a minor league team brand. We're going to choose the place, we're going to choose the brand, we're going to choose all of that, right? You guys are going to each have your own team, right? And I figured that today we could discuss location of of the place where would you like to put a minor league, whether it's affiliated, independent, collegiate would bet. You guys choose. Where would you like to put your minor league team?
Well, I'll start by saying that my Northern Colorado Owls with a Z are playing right now as we speak their very first ever home game, but their stadium is still not ready, and there's not a single word on when it's going to be ready. So they're playing at the University of Northern Colorado right now, which is, that's like an hour away from me. So I'm waiting for. Eric just said, "Paul, save your answer." Not sure what that means. So anyway, apart from the obvious, I would put one in Fort Collins, Colorado, so that I could go to a minor league baseball game. I would like to see one back in across the river from Philadelphia. Camden had a team, and I'd like to see one that was, I would like to see a team back in New Jersey. And there's actually a little bit of a movement going on right now on Twitter. An account has started up trying to get minor league baseball back to Atlantic City. So having just been to a Las Vegas Aviators game earlier this season, I would like to, for real, apart from Fort Collins, Colorado, just because I want to be able to walk to a game, I would put the Atlantic City Surf back in Atlantic City.
I think I just followed that account, that the Atlantic City baseball one.
Did you? Yeah.
The Twitter account. Them. Yep, you did. And I was like, oh, okay.
Is Paul running that account? Paul's like, some anonymous person started a new Twitter account.
This is
all of a sudden.
Yeah.
This is like when I was accused of tweeting to myself from the Curved Brim Media. This is why Eric said to save my answer, because I did answer this question on their podcast. But on the other hand, I kept those guys captive for like 3 hours during this interview. And so it's gonna take them 3 months to edit. So anyone who hears this is gonna have long forgotten my answer by the time that episode comes out.
I love it. All right, Anna, where would you put your team?
I'm gonna go Fort Worth, Texas, for some selfish reasons like Paul, but also because I think, the Texas Rangers, obviously Rangers is a very Texas term, the Texas Rangers, you think Bonnie and Clyde, but Fort Worth is the more Western town, like the old school Western town where they still do this like cattle drive every day for tourism and things like that. That's where the rodeo is. And so I think they could really play up the Texasification of a Fort Worth team that maybe Frisco's not, they're not doing it up as big, which I also appreciate, but that's my answer for that.
Fort Worth.
Yeah.
What's the Fort Worth Cats were there? I remember that
they
one.
They were there. Yeah.
Yep. Well, actually, I'm going to go with the same kind of I'm not going to go to North Carolina. Carolina is, already way too many teams here. So
embarrassment of riches.
Oh, such a bad, horrible thing. I tell you, so bad. So I'm not going to go there. So I decided that I wanted to put a team in Puerto Rico.
Oh yeah. It's a great idea.
Right?
Yes.
There's no minor league team, affiliated team right now in Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to bring, if you eventually want to explore the whole bring in a major league team, which they tried to do that with the Expos, if you guys remember that, right? Put it in, in Puerto Rico, in San Juan, right there in the middle, like, metropolitan city where there's like, a lot of major league, players come from and all that. So that's my answer.
All right. It would have to be it would have to be a AAA team because they would probably have to fly there.
Yeah. Or you could do an indie ball team, right? Do it, or you can do a Florida single A team, right? For the Florida, what's that? The Florida coast. So,
yeah. Can we put teams in the next season or two after their major league teams leave? Can we put teams in Anaheim and Oakland?
Oh my God. That one caught me off guard. I'm not going to lie to you.
Anaheim.
Yeah, I was not expecting that one at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that was weird. What they do? They canceled they got permission to cancel their lease on the Big A. It sounds like Disney is Oh yeah, how about Kona? Kona needs a team.
They used to have the Hawaii Islanders.
Yeah, we'll go snorkeling, and then we'll have some musubi, and then we'll go hit the ball game.
I would have some spam.
That'll be our
spam fast food restaurant there.
That'll
Maybe
be
go
our
see
next
Dog the
Curve
Bounty
Media
Hunter.
meetup. Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Is he still doing that?
I have no idea. I think so. I think I heard rumblings about him, after one of these escaped inmates or something like that not too long ago. So
we have what I really love about tonight's crowd here is we have so many people checking in from ball games,
from actual ball games, because
cool.
Patrick is this is guys, we reached a new level of popularity. It's like I can't miss it. We're gonna still watch it at the ballpark. I'm all for it.
It's awesome. Well, yeah,
I like it. I like it. So we all agree. So Fort Collins for Paul, Fort Worth for Anna, Puerto Rico for me. I want to see from the guys that are they're watching, the people that are watching, where would they put their team? I mean, because there's a lot of places that they could have. Like if you look at the whole western part of the United States, it is blank. There's nothing there. So
the Mountain Time Zone basically has like no baseball. Now, I will say that April baseball in the Mountain Time Zone is it can be difficult.
Dicey.
And it's one of the reasons like the Pacific Northwest League, used to be
short season.
Used to be short season single A because they started in June. So, there's reasons, I guess, why there are not that many teams
in that area,
in the area, but it is a bummer if you're a baseball fan and you live in a place like, say, Fort Collins, Colorado. We do have the Pioneer League here, so that's good.
But at least have a collegiate wood bat team, right? Like, I mean, at least that's something.
Well, we do have the Fort Collins Foxes here who play basically at like the little city park about a mile from my house. Mark Viquez on the Ballpark Hunter podcast interviewed their manager Isaac, who is like 17 years old. And so they start on the 5th. They start on Sunday. And so I'm going to go say hi to Isaac.
I'm sorry.
He's older than 17, but he sounded super.
I was going to say, it's like, hold on a second. What am I doing with my life then?
Right.
Hershey, PA.
I like that. What would you call them, Virgil? The Chocolatiers or something? I mean,
the Hershey Kisses.
The Hershey Kisses.
Nah, something clever. Yeah.
Oh, not that. Something clever, Anna said.
God, Anna.
I'd rather be with you than the finest people in the world.
Right. No, that name sucks, Ed.
Yeah, but not that.
Yeah, good. No. Get out of here with that.
Pulling my punches, obviously.
Yeah, but less sucky.
Less interesting. No.
Hershey, well, there's the minor league hockey team there.
The Hershey Bears.
The Bears. The Hershey. I don't know.
I know that's an interesting one.
The first roller coaster that I ever went on was in Hershey, Pennsylvania. It was at Hershey Park, and it was called the Comet, and it was like it's sort of you built up to the Super Duper Looper, but the Comet was like the one there was no upside down on the Comet, so that's the one you did first, and then the Super Duper Looper was like once you got like a little braver.
I'm sorry, the name of the roller coaster was called the Super Duper Looper.
It was the Super Duper Looper. Come on, it was the 80s.
Oh, you got it.
There's obviously no one in that room brave enough to say no. Not that. Yeah, not that, guys.
Those are the owner of the place said we're going to Kisses.
Right. The owner of the place was like, we're going to call it a Super Duper Looper, and everybody was like, yeah, great idea, boss. Great idea.
So this is something that
the macadamias. Okay,
that's a good one.
Chuck Domino was talking about like the most successful team names that he's been involved with, and he was basically saying, and this is you'll hear him talk about this in my episode coming up about the Charleston Dirty Birds. Sorry, I almost said the River Bears. I don't know what the hell's a River Bear. The Charleston Dirty Birds. I'm a little tired. It's been something of a day today. But the Charlie. So he was saying that the most successful team names out there if you think about it, are the ones where it's like a vulnerable animal that's made to look menacing. So like they were sort of doing that with the Charleston Dirty Birds, right? Like this little canary who's like, "Rrr." And so, you know, like the sod poodles and the trash pandas and the flying squirrels. And like, these are all like, and the yard goats, you know, these are all like slightly vulnerable animals. The trash pandas, did I say that one already?
Listen, a squirrel will F you up. Okay.
That's true. Heartless.
Listen, a squirrel will not mess around. So I'm good there.
That's funny. Well,
the Minneapolis Millers, so the St. Paul Saints would have a crosstown rival. Well, you can't. Okay. But would you though? Because they're not going to be able to play. Because they're not going to be. You know, who's gonna want them as an affiliated team so close to St. Paul? Unless
the team, with apologies to Wichita,
right?
The Hershey Chocolate Bunnies.
Oh,
all right, I gotta show these comments. Yeah,
that's good.
That's pretty good. That's vulnerable. Yep. All right, Virgil.
And it's
Virgil for the win.
Sign Virgil up here.
I like it. I like it.
Yep. All right. There was another question, right? There was a
Anna had that. This was an Anna question.
All right, let's have it, Anna.
Yeah, so this was one that would have been a little more timely, at least in terms of media representation. Last week, right after the Yankees, of course, left Baltimore, they had some choice words about that decision to relocate the left field wall. And so it begs the question of...
They should shut their mouth, first of all, but okay.
Should teams pursue reconfigurations of ballparks that suit their teams better than the opposing teams? And, you know, why is it any different that you have to hit a ball further to get it out of left field at Camden than it is that you have to hit a ball effectively straight up in the air to get it out at Fenway? Why does nobody have a problem with that?
True. Nobody says anything to all because it's a historic ballpark. It's been there for years. Okay.
I love it. I love it so much. Like, I love the you know, the the stupid catwalk in Tampa Bay. With apologies to Anna, the catwalk in Tampa Bay. That's the goofiest thing.
Right, yeah, but isn't it considered a dead ball as soon as it hit that thing?
There's like different ground rules.
Yeah, different rules based on the ring of catwalk it hits. And the best thing that ever happened was we won a game against the Yankees because a ball hit a speaker, like a speaker hanging down from the catwalk that, you know, they pump music through and everything. It hit the speaker and like died on the field. New York was like so angry and it was amazing.
And then
again, New York. Yeah. When are they not angry?
The Yankee Stadium has that like little short porch that they were calling Utley's Corner forever because Chase Utley kept hitting like these little dinky home runs into the short porch during the World Series.
Yeah.
So I love it. I think it's one of the things that makes baseball special, right? Like, I don't want anything that's going to lead to like an injury. Like I mean, the hill at Minute Maid Field, you know, back when it was Minute Maid in Houston, I guess, like that was weird because, you know, someone's going to be running and they're going to like go straight uphill and injure themselves. Right. So,
but what I would say is remember that there was a time where Monument Park was in play.
Right. That's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah. And so, I don't know. I'm all for it. Like, I think, change them up, you know, reconfigure, re-swizzle, and make it more interesting for the fans.
The Angels, remember when they changed the home run line that it went down? So like if it hits above the line now, that's considered a home run, but it's like it hits the wall and it comes right back into play. So I mean,
right. The other thing about baseball too is like the physics of it matter so much. You know, I mean, if the dimensions at Coors Field are exactly the same as the dimensions at, you know, Petco, it's still going to play differently because, you know, the elevation and the humidity and all that. And so, and Petco's one, right? Like the Padres totally build their teams to suit fly ball pitchers and, you know, because they've got that enormous outfield and Oakland, if you could build a team where you could where you had pitchers who were like really good at inducing foul pop-ups, like that Oakland foul territory is just ridiculous.
Monstrous.
It's
Yeah,
insanity.
monstrous. Yeah.
Well, Detroit Tigers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got those things that covered in. It's like, you can hit a triple in that plays like it was nothing.
Right.
So
yeah. Colin's right. So Colin's making a great point here, because what is perhaps the greatest play ever made in baseball, and where
when Bob
did it
Boone
happen?
dropped the pop up and Pete Rose was standing there and he caught it. Sorry, we're not talking about the 1980 World Series.
No.
I'm not talking about Bill Buckner either. I say it's Willie Mays, the catch,
Sure,
dead center field. That does not happen anywhere else, right?
Yeah, because it would have been
that,
a home run somewhere else.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I think now you got more plays out there in left field at Camden Yards, and it'll be a little more interesting to watch.
Well, I'm for that, and he could have killed himself on the statues in the Polo Ground trying to make that catch.
That's right, or the hill at Minute Maid,
or the hill at Minute Maid, exactly.
I mean, that hill. Listen, it was also interesting though. It was fun to see though. At the same time, I know injuries and all that, but it was interesting because it played into the game. Like, I mean, if you took one wrong step, you're like trying to dive for the ball, and then dies in front of you. So why not? I'm all for it.
This is where the phrase Baltimore chop came from. They used to make the dirt really hard in front of home plate in Baltimore, and the players would practice chopping the ball straight down, and they would hit these high choppers and beat them out.
Yep.
Home field advantage. I don't know who said it earlier, but home field advantage is called home field advantage for a reason.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep,
and listen,
right.
and if there's any other team that's gonna, complain about it, you know what? Beat them at their own game. Like when everybody complains about the shift. Okay, you're a major league ball player. Hit it the other way. So double home run for which.
There are live updates from Wichita here.
I love it. What's the score though? You're giving us all this info, but no score.
He's just giving us the dollar bet information that we need. This is,
that's what matters, right?
If you're on the baseball palooza game, this is. Someone said that about the 30-13 game that I went to. I think it might have been Eric Prophet who said when I said that the game was 30-13. I could not find a box score for that game to find out how many hits there were. But
no, they wanted to get rid of nobody.
They wanted to get that information has been sealed in the vault, right? Exactly. But yeah, there would have been a lot of money trading hands.
That's a lot of runs for one baseball game.
What's up, Mike?
Mike Sellers.
What up, Mikey?
Mike Sellers, host of the Up to Chat podcast, which has certainly been a lot of fun to follow. Eric and Johnny are both here from the Earned Fun Average podcast. So
I love it.
Great to have these guys here. Absolutely. So,
now, was it beach volleyball, Mike? Love me some beach volleyball. That's a lot of fun.
I'm terrible at volleyball. Of course,
what?
I'm 5'8", right? Like, so it's not I wasn't made for volleyball.
I'm 6'2" and I can't jump worth for anything. So I can't jump at all, man.
When my buddies and I were in Las Vegas earlier this year, it was during the NFL draft, and they had this like this big old like fan fest. And you could do like all of the activities. You could run a 40, and you could do the vertical leap challenge, and you know all these different things. There was a field goal kicking contest, and so I hit two 20-year-old. I hit two.
You did? Okay, congratulations!
No, I did
two 20-year-old kids.
I hit him right in the back of the head. No, I hit two 20-yard field goals in this thing, and then I ran a very slow 40, and I jumped a very low vertical. So.
I don't run fast. I run for distance.
It was a moral victory, though, because I did not injure myself.
How were you the next day, though? Like, how sore were you?
Virgil, how do you know this? How do you know that the Moo had 30 hits in that game? That's insane. I was okay the next morning. I actually went for a run on the strip the next morning, and yeah, it was okay. It was all right.
I like it.
Here's Philip talking about
like complaining that the fans are only cheering that, or complaining about, hey, this is my seat. I'm a season
ticket. Did we talk about that last week?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Yeah, remember that?
Yes, I do.
General admission scandal.
I haven't heard anything
with the
from
Cubs.
him. Yeah, Bleacher Jeff. I wonder if he's been getting his seat since then. So I don't know what the Cubs are doing. Anna, you had your guest on your most recent episode where he was talking about the Steve Bartman incident. And the Steve Bartman incident just makes me like so sad.
Oh man,
for that guy, like that, like Steve Bartman, just like his life was just ruined. It was ruined. And the question that you asked of what if he had been wearing a Marlins hat, right? Like was just.
Well, Phil asked.
Phil asked that.
It was
Phil
yeah.
The question that you guys discussed,
but I'd be curious to know what y'all think. You know, everybody watching, like, let us know. Do you think his life? There's two parts to the question, right? One is, does he make it out of the ballpark alive that night?
No.
The second is his life as much of a pit of sadness for 16 years or what?
Yeah.
No,
so?
I think it would be the total opposite because most
Yeah.
likely he was going to be a fan from a different city, right?
Yeah.
So he would have been gone. It was like, hey, sorry guys, I cost you your World Series.
It's like Jeffrey Mayer, the Baltimore fan, or no, the Yankee fan in Baltimore, I guess. I forget what the story was exactly, but that little kid who reached over the home run fence and caught a ball that was then ruled a home run, should have been a ground rule double or an out. And he was a hero. He was a hero in New York. So, so I don't know. I think his life would have been just fine if he was a Marlins fan.
I just don't know if he would have. Well, his life would have been fine if he would have been able to get out.
If it lasted another 20 minutes, it would have been fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, did you guys watch the that 30 for 30 on ESPN about the whole Steve Bartman thing?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like, I mean, I legitimately feel bad for the guy because the ball was in foul territory.
Yeah.
Okay. Alou came over and tried to jump over, so it wasn't even, his fault. So.
Totally agree. Michael Wilbon, who I normally like, I think sort of embarrassed himself with that because he was out for blood. He wanted Steve Bartman dead.
I remember that. Yeah.
So here's a question. Do you guys care who wins when you go to a minor league game?
No.
No, not at all.
No. I will say too that a couple of weeks ago we had gone to a Rough Riders game and Nicole was on the phone with her family like the next day telling them how it was the best day ever and it was so much fun. And they asked if, who won the game, and she looked at me and she was like,
that's like Philip
that's how
Geary.
You know it's good.
Philip Geary, when he worked in Bakersfield for the Blaze, he said he would guarantee a win. Fans would always show up and he would guarantee a win. He didn't say by which team, but he would guarantee a win.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, I mean, it's minor league baseball has become a social gathering event, right?
Yeah.
So I obviously I'll root for the home team and everything, or whoever I'm going to go see. But as far as, and I think me being in the podcasting now and all of this, it has taught me that, like, I have friends now on both sides of the teams, right? So it'll be hard to root for, like what happens when the Otterbots and the Sock Puppets play, right?
You throw out the records.
Yeah.
Throw out the records when the Sock Puppets and the Otterbots play.
There's probably going to be a fight or something. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying, though? Like, I as long as I'm having a good time, and like last weekend, when I went to and I took my daughter was having the time of her life, and we did not care who won.
Yeah.
Isn't it so?
You go.
I was gonna say, isn't it so interesting that like that's how it is even in a AAA game, right? Which is just one step away from the major leagues, and then all of a sudden you go to an MLB game and it's just a totally different environment. And like, why do you think that is?
Well, I'll root for, if I'm at a Phillies affiliate, I'll root for them to win. Like I'll actually care if they win, especially if it's the Iron Pigs, right? Like, but yeah, I mean, I think that just speaks to the nature of why people go to minor league baseball, right? Like they're not in it because there's an emotional investment in the game. So Jason just hopes everyone has fun. I hope both teams have.
Are we giving up participation trophies or, What are we doing here?
Anna, your story reminded me though of my daughter Maya just finished her freshman year in high school, and she's playing trumpet in the pep band. And like I said earlier, my kids don't give two darns about team sports. And so I got to the football game, and their high school team was losing 35-0. And I picked her up, and 35-0 in a high school football game. And so she packs up her trumpet, says goodbye to her friends. Everyone says goodbye, and they all sort of saunter out. And so I say to Maya, "It's like, so did you guys win?" And she goes, "I think so, yeah." And I didn't tell her. I didn't say, "No, you lost 35-0."
Well, that's awesome though, because she's gonna have those memories of like those are the best nights, and like who really cares if we got the pants beat off of us or whatever. So
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm with you there. It's more in minor league baseball. It really, honestly, doesn't really matter much. Major League Baseball has made it so as well,
sure.
Right?
Yeah, well, because you're there because you're a fan, and Although I don't know. I mean, I've been to Major League games where if my team's not playing, and I kind of root for the home team unless the fans are annoying. So
which happens a lot.
Happens a lot. Yeah, exactly. But like I'm going to a Diamondbacks Tigers game later this month, and I promise you I will not have a rooting interest in who wins that game.
Go Tigers.
Tigers, okay, go Tigers.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or Diamondbacks, whoever's winning.
Here's an honest to God question. Do people still go to Diamondbacks game?
I think so. Sure.
I would guess so, yeah. Okay. Some people. Yeah. Not sure.
There's some people that go there.
Oh, here's Mike. I knew Mike would be chiming in.
Their city connects are pretty cool.
Oh, the serpente. How do you say it?
Serpientes.
Oh, serpientes.
Yes.
Even though it should be a Copa brand. Should not be a City Connect. Should be a Copa brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will
forgive I can tell you at least one important person in my life goes to Diamondbacks games. So yes, I can confirm fans at Diamondbacks games.
Fan.
I can confirm fan.
I can confirm a fan.
I love that clip, that Family Guy clip about the WNBA where they're talking about like a trade or a salary deal or something, and they're like, I don't know, let's ask the fan.
I used to go to WNBA games when Cleveland had a team, the Cleveland Rockers.
I bet they're fun.
They were fun. I sat down courtside. That was my first and only time.
Nice.
That's cool. I once sat courtside. Oh, geez. I once sat courtside at a Colorado State basketball game. That was fun. The WNBA team in Las Vegas caused a big rift in the minor league baseball world because they were the Aces.
Yeah.
And the Reno Aces didn't love that. And the Reno Aces have the Twitter handle @Aces. And they were like, hey, come and get it.
How much are you going to pay us?
Yeah, I think they still have it.
Virgil.
That's what keeps the place cool down. So.
That's what keeps it cool down. Yes, they still have the Aces.
Yeah.
The Reno Aces still have their Twitter handle, which is amazing.
Or are you checking that now?
I am. I'm looking on Twitter right now.
Okay.
Well, let's not forget the Evansville Aces as well. The college, Evansville Purple Aces.
Ooh, that's a good name. Purple Aces.
All right, I have a question for you guys. What is, I don't know, maybe not the top one. What are the top 2 or 3 minor league ballparks that you really want to get to that you have not gotten to yet?
Corpus Christi.
Oh, Corpus Christi. Okay.
Yeah. Charleston.
The Dirty Birds.
No, the River Dogs.
The River Dogs.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Those are my top 2. I'll go with those. Okay. Oh, and Albuquerque. Got to go to Albuquerque.
Albuquerque's great.
And Salt Lake. Okay, that's it. I'm done.
Are you sure?
That's the great thing. Well, that's what I get for asking the bucket list specialist.
Right. Daytona. I want to go to a Daytona Tortugas game.
Yeah.
That'll be a cool one.
Yeah, that's one on my list too.
I'm with Anna on this one. Albuquerque. I really would like to go to an Albuquerque game. I think that would be a lot of fun to go see.
Mm-hmm.
Corpus Christi would be a good one.
Yeah.
I would like to hit a Canada team, any Canada team, right? I think that would be a lot of fun to go see.
Well, you got the Quebec Capitale that you could go hit.
Touche.
I have very important plans coming to go see the Vancouver Canadians later this season.
Oh, that would be cool. I like them.
Yeah.
The Nanaimo Night Owls. That'll be a cool one.
Johnny just named a bunch of good ones here. Durham, Wichita, and Toledo. I haven't been to Toledo.
Yeah. I'd like to get up to Wichita too. It should be an easy trip. It's I think it's like 5 hours, and it's very doable.
It's a beautiful ballpark.
Not a short one for me. It is a very long one for me.
Yeah.
It's actually not that far for me. It's like 7 hours for me. So
interesting.
Yeah. Interesting is right.
Come on, guys. I can't spend all this money here. All right.
So Eric says you have to check out Rickwood Field, but I have seen the pictures of Rickwood Field that say no gambling during this game, and so since I can't play the dollar
can't
game
do the dollar game there.
I'll tell you one I really want to see is the Quad Cities River Bandits.
Ooh, yeah.
And so that's a great one. Look, first time watcher Amy Burnett. Hi, Amy Burnett. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Amy. Let's see.
We've been talking about Diamondbacks. I don't know if Amy's been on this whole time or not. We've been talking about our Diamondbacks game.
Let's take a look here.
All right. We've got so I was going to say so Vancouver obviously is on my list. I got plans to go. I really want to go see a Quad Cities River Bandits game because it just looks like an awesome view with I love bridges. I really like bridges a lot. So
yeah.
You've been to Pittsburgh Pirates?
No, I've not been to not since it was Three Rivers.
You got to go there.
I know I have to go there. Yeah, I know. I just haven't had a reason to go to Pittsburgh in a long time. And it's a cool city. I like Pittsburgh.
Their roads suck. What are you talking about? It's all one-way streets.
Well, I can't comment on that. I don't know anything.
That's called a city, Ed. That's called downtown anywhere.
If anyone else was on a tarantula rescue tonight, Amy says tarantula rescue would be a good name for a minor league team. I think that's actually really true.
That's actually not bad.
Tarantula. You could never get me to buy a hat, though. I would love the name, but it would creep me out too much.
So you wouldn't then have gotten one of my Richmond Spiders caps.
No, I wouldn't.
Or the Cleveland Spiders when they rebrand to their Spiders.
That's right. You could do a little bit of a Columbia Fireflies and do like a jar with the spider in it. Maybe then maybe I'd be on board. I don't
know. Charlotte is a beautiful ballpark, Mike. That is.
It's got a great view.
Ballpark. Yeah,
great view. For
downtown,
for sure. And it's sort of like set down in the ground a little bit. And yeah.
I'm with you there. I like that one.
All right.
I would like to hit a ballpark right by the water. I think that'll be so cool, right? Like right by the water, like not a river, but like, ocean or the Gulf or something like that, like Corpus Christi. I think that would be.
I think that's why people love San Francisco so much.
Yeah, definitely.
That ball is just like looking. Yep. I love sitting like upper deck behind home plate in San Francisco, looking out on the bay. Like it's incredible.
Well, and don't forget Cincinnati too. If you're in the right spot.
Yeah,
you got the river view there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't been to the new stadium in Cincinnati. It's like Pittsburgh. So I've been to the two concrete donuts in Pittsburgh and Cincinnati.
Concrete donuts.
I think Quad City should have the Ferris wheel like in center field, kind of like the old statues, right? Now that would be great.
There's a ballpark quirk for you.
Yeah.
I like it when they put little things like that at ballparks, right? Like different things.
Like a Ferris wheel in center field.
Yeah, right. Who cares, right? And try to hit a home run to the Ferris wheel.
Right, exactly. If there's like people on it, if it would be like the Savannah Bananas, like if there's people on the Ferris wheel and they catch it, you're out.
Right.
Eric brings up a great one. Pensacola is absolutely one that I want to get to. That view just looks incredible.
Right in the Panhandle.
Right on the water.
Yep. Beloit. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not Beloit. Biloxi.
Oh yeah. I don't know too much about Biloxi. Johnny Bolin should be here to chime in about the Biloxi. Cool. I feel like I had another one. I feel like we just named like all those stadiums in minor league baseball. Like
we really have. Right. This is the problem with being a fan of minor league baseball. You want to go to every single one of them.
Yep. All right, so here's a question: do you object to baseball ballparks being called stadiums?
I do.
Anna's grimacing and nodding. All right.
So okay, so what constitute being a ballpark, a stadium then, or a stadium?
Okay. So here's where it gets tricky, right? Because you have some parks that are stadiums by name. You got Dodger Stadium, you got Yankee Stadium, so on and so forth. What I think a stadium is something that is pre-configured and has designated dimensions. So a football stadium, right? I think a ballpark is the entire ecosystem that includes the field and all of the really cool stuff that we were just talking about. And that's what makes it a ballpark. Also, like the idea of no other sport being able to call their field or place of play a ballpark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the nerdiest and most awesome answer to that question I've ever heard.
I had it ready to go. I was like,
that was pretty good. Kudos to you on that one.
You didn't even know that was coming.
I think about it a lot.
Well, why wouldn't you? Who does it?
I'll go with. I'll agree. Okay, all right, that's fine.
No way am I going to challenge anything said that authoritatively.
No. You win. You're right. I like it. You're right.
All right, we're down to 4 minutes here, so I got to ask you guys, what do you have coming up? Who's coming up on your podcast here?
Tomorrow I have none other than Tim Flattery, host of the Moonlight Graham Show. He's amazing. He has is a lot of fun, a great interview, lots of good stories, and if you haven't been listening to his show, you got to check it out because it's really cool.
Okay.
Did you say his name was Tim Flaherty?
Flattery.
Flattery. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, Ed, who do you got?
This week, obviously, Jordan, but next week, Logan Davis, GM of the anybody? Axeman.
We could have had who's our Axeman ambassador who could have chimed in with
Mr.
that?
Eric Prophet.
That's he's our Axeman.
Yes, sir.
It just sounds like a Kramer license plate, if you ask me.
That's good. I like it.
Next week, I have the Woo Sox coming up. This is as close as I'm going to have to a team being named for its parent club. I have the Woo Sox, who are technically the Worcester Red Sox, but they are the Woo Sox. And this is one of my rare occasions where I actually have 4 guests on one episode. I've got from their team, I've got Tim Quidadamo, who actually he works for the team and he hosts the Woo Sox podcast. I've got Jason Klein from Brandiose because it's a Brandiose brand. I have Gabrielle Starr, who I've been following on Twitter for a long time. She's a reporter and a big Red Sox fan, and is the first person I ever saw with a Woo Sox ice cream helmet. And so she had that. She had a Woo Sox ice cream helmet. And then finally, my very last guest, and this was really fun, I have a guy named Charles Ball, who is the son of Harvey Ball, who is the corporate or the commercial artist who created the smiley face that logo is based on. Back in the 60s, he lived in
the
Worcester.
Actual smiley face?
The actual smiley face was invented by a guy named Harvey Ball. Isn't that wild? His name is Harvey Ball, and he invented the smiley face. So not invented by Forrest Gump.
You mean I was just gonna say it wasn't Forrest Gump?
It was not Forrest Gump. No. It was I know, right? It's we've been lied to once again by Tom Hanks,
son of
America's biggest villain. So anyway, his son is a lawyer in Worcester, and so he's long since passed away, but the family continues to own the rights to the smiley face, even though they never enforce it. And the team went to him and they were like, "Hey, we want to use the smiley face as the foundation for a baseball team brand." And he was like, "Heck yeah!" And so that was really fun.
He got something out of it, like season tickets for life.
I believe so.
Unlimited merch, things like that.
Yeah. I could do like a 30-second episond on the OKC Dodgers. I'd be like, "How come you're the Dodgers?"
Why don't you become original and change your name? I
could ask them for 30 seconds, how come they're the Dodgers? And And then we could talk about the Red Hawks and the 89ers for the next 59 and a half minutes.
89ers. That's a great name.
Yeah.
They do sell that hat, by the way.
Well, that was
89ers.
great. It's great.
So,
Great.
well, guys, we are at the top of the hour. Look at that. Time
We did
flies
it.
when you're having fun.
Always does.
Yeah.
We will see you guys again next week. We will talk about the neest phase of building our minor league teams. So,
God willing, and the creek don't rise, as they say.
Let the rain. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, all.
Bye.